Hi everybody, it's Debbie. I'm back. Ginger Cat Journals. For all things journaling, I love art journals, I love junk journals, I love bullet journals, I love writing in journals. I just basically like notebooks as well. Everything. I love it all. But what I do especially love is creating all the things that goes in them. That is my special love at the moment. So guys, I have got an old book here. And it's actually Alice in Wonderland. It's a copy, a very old vintage copy of Alice in Wonderland. It had no cover, so it was being sold for like 20 pence, really cheap, and I bought it because I am getting ready to make an Alice in Wonderland theme junk journal. So what I've got today is I've got the old book pages, which don't need any distressing because look, they're already so old, they've yellowed naturally with age, so that's brilliant. What I am planning on doing is making a sort of masterboard, if you like, sticking these pages together, and then on top I've got some tissue papers here. So this is new modern tissue paper, but it was like £1.50 for a pack of loads of it, and I just thought that was really cute with a little heart, especially for an Alice themed. And if we're going to decoupage that on top there, oof, I think it's going to be great. So we've got that. I've also got this green one. I love the green. It's got little gold dots on. Again, it's modern. Where was this from? This was from one of my favourite shops, Sostengren. That was about £2, I think, something like that. So I like to get, if I buy things, I like to get inexpensive things. And again, you can see through that. And then my plan is we'll stamp on, not stamp on, going to stencil on. So I've got a couple of my stencils out, which I think give a sort of Wonderland vibe, a bit twisty, a bit quirky. So I think they'll go down quite well. So look, guys, I've not done this. I've not practiced it. This is purely an experiment. Oh, forgot to say, actually, I've got this napkin. Now it looks a bit busy, so I'm not sure. I'm just pulling off the second ply. As you may know, napkins come in 3-ply generally. I got this one in a garden centre, in my garden centre. They're a bit more expensive, but I think they're nice. Now I don't know though whether they'll be so busy that you can't see things coming through. So it may not work, but I just loved it. I just thought it was a beautiful pattern. So we may or may not use that. I'll certainly be using it in another journal if I don't use it for this one. All right, so I've started pulling out my pages. It would probably be nice to have some from different chapters, but actually I'm not too sure. It's going to get covered. Oh, look. Whoever's child it was has decided to draw around that bit, but that's okay. Look at that. Now what I have done, there were some illustrations. I've pulled those out, but I'll save those to show you for next time because I want to use them in the actual Alice journal. So shall we see if we can get these papers stuck together? And what I'm going to do, it doesn't really have to be square, but I think I'm just going to take off these margins, as it were. I don't particularly want lots of that. So let's just rip that down. And if we get a nice bit of a ripped edge, all the better. All the better, that'd be great. So just going to take these off of these pages I've got. Now, if you've got a thin bit of paper, it's not as easy to tear. However, that's quite nice because look, you've got all these little bits, so it's a naturally jagged edge, isn't it? I think I'll leave that because it's got a Caucus race there. I think I'll leave that top because it's actually got the words Alice in Wonderland and things on it. So let's leave those. Okay. Take off the bottom though. Don't need the bottom. God, this is really old paper. Look at that. Now that's a sort of the effect we go for when we tea dye, isn't it? And coffee dye. And this is like naturally done. So it's quite nice actually to pick up a book and see what am I supposed to actually be going for, as it were. So yeah, you know, I'm going to be sticking them together with a glue stick. Not just all like that necessarily, but, you know, other angles, different angles coming over, I think. Yeah. All right, so I'm going to go and take off all of these margins and then I'll be back. Okay, here we are, back again now. I've taken off those margins, as I said I would, but some of them I've left sort of intact. And then I started realising I'm probably going to need some different sizes. So got some different sizes. Of course, I can rip again if I need to, because I definitely don't want them all uniform. I want them higgledy-piggledy, as it were, or going in opposite directions sometimes. But let's start with the main piece here. Alice in Wonderland. Okay, I need a glue page, don't I? One moment. Okay, let's get a glue page so that we can stop the mess getting onto my nice little mat here and table. And I'm going to just go in with a glue stick on this side here. Maybe 1 centimetre maybe. Get that nice and glued down. And then we want a piece coming off the edge. Now, I think if I wasn't going to cover this with the tissue entirely, I may have inked the edges, but I don't really want to do that for this one because there's going to be quite a lot going on at the top. So we've got that there. Could have this here that says Alice as well, and then we're starting to get there, aren't we? So let's just glue that little bit there. Oops, put that up, Debbie, please. Thank you. So there we go. That's our first bit down. Let's just take the glue off there a little. There we are. Okay. So of course I need to then come in and start adhering it into the places which don't have any glue stick on them at the moment. All right, there we go. We've started. So let's see what else we can do. Do I want a larger one here under there? Yeah, I think that'd be quite nice. Or maybe just a larger piece like this, because this doesn't have to turn out completely square, because we can get the guillotine out, the cutter out. I don't actually have a guillotine as such, but can get cutters out. All right. There we go. That looks nice, doesn't it? Oh, I'm loving that. Yep. It's saying yes in Debbie's brain. So, of course, like any crafting or art, it is your art. It is your craft. There is no right or wrong. You see what speaks to you when you lay a piece down. If it speaks to you, see how I like that now. If it's not speaking to me, you know what I mean. It's not giving me that feeling. Obviously, it's not saying actual words, but, you know, I'm getting that feeling. Yep, that's right for me. And there is no right or wrong. That's what I absolutely love about crafting and junk journaling and art journaling. Right, I'm getting to the end of this now, guys, but I wanted to show you something. As I'm getting to these end parts, it's actually easier to say, well, I want that there. Turn it over to what I'm calling the wrong side, because then I can see all the bits that I need to glue. Now, also, I just want to show you that I've used a bit of tissue, just white tissue here, because there were big blobs of glue on it, and I just thought, well, let that take it off. It is only tissue paper, so it can just, it stops it sticking, you know, the other way, the wrong way. So I want to put this piece that says Pool of Tears here, and now I'm getting all stuck in my fingers, aren't I? Here, so that of course is going to be all of these corners, and I'm going to just trim the bottom off of it. So that's why I've turned it over, and I'm finding this is working better as you get to the end of the page. Oh, I can't see exactly there, but if I go, whatever comes out on the right side comes out now. Oops, doing a lot of oopsing today, apologies for that. That's great. Isn't that good? That's a little bit sticky, so I'll just bring a little bit of extra white tissue. I'm just gonna do this. Take that sticky off, that's it. Okay, look at that. I'm very happy with that. So I do want to take this off because I want it roughly a square. Well, not square, roughly straight-ish. So we can make some journal cards from it. Maybe some tags. Although I've got some good tags for my Alice, and I'll be showing you those. A good idea of what to make with those. I'll be showing you those. Look at that. I love it, guys. So listen, I'm going to let this all dry properly, and then we'll come back when that has dried. Because what I don't want you to think is that, you know, you sit down here and in an hour you've got all this wonderful stuff done. There is drying, there is, look, I've got all these pieces to keep now as well for other journals, other bits of junk journaling. There's all sorts of things that, you know, you need to go away sometimes for an hour and leave it. But look, let's just try, let's just offer this up. We're starting to see it through there. Do I want to cover it completely with this tissue? Do we want to take off bits of the tissue? Oh, I don't know, the questions. Right, guys, I'm back and I've had a brainwave, and that is, I'm just going to do a little bit of tissue over each bit and see what happens. So here's my tissue paper. I've got my PVA glue here. I'm just going to start laying down a nice layer, making sure I cover the bits here that I want to. How long are we, my dear? How long are we? We need to go down a little bit further. Okay. Now, I'm imagining this is going to crease up a bit, but I don't mind. Do you not mind? It's art, it's journaling. Right, here we go. Oh, not too bad. Not too bad at all. Not sure I put it on completely straight, but that's all right. Let's move that out there. Don't want to go too crazy because it might rip and tear, mightn't it, if it gets too wet. But there we are. Now, what I am really happy about is I can see quite a bit. Hopefully you can see that on camera. I can see quite a bit of the text coming through. So that is wonderful. And we've still got those lovely little hearts on there, haven't we? So what about our green? Let's get our green down. Now, guys, I am using Mod Podge because I've got that. I don't know what I got it for, but I bought it. And I bought it online because I couldn't find it locally. And this massive tub came. I didn't really even realise I was buying such a big tub. That's all right. So I've got loads of it and I'm going to use it. Now, I know that there are cheaper alternatives. And I'll certainly be looking for cheaper alternatives next time, now that I'm aware of them. So let's just go right up here. I'm not even worrying if that overlaps here, there, if it's a little bit icklety-picklety. There's a few little bumps there. Let's just start smoothing them out. Now, I feel like I'm losing those little gold imps a little bit. I don't want to do too much on the surface either, do I? Because I do want to, with my stenciling, I am actually wanting to get my coloured pencils out and draw through the stencils rather than sponging them paint-wise. You know, I'm going to draw them. And the reason being, I'm not so good at the sponging it paint-wise, I'll be honest. So I've got a bit more here. I don't know if I'm liking this green, guys. I'm not gonna lie. I'm loving the hearts. I'm not liking the green so much. However, we need to let it dry, don't we? I'm going to just take off this bit here because I want to try that other napkin I've got. And so I'm going to cut this down a bit. See, this is what I do. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just going to go in and experiment and see what comes out. I'm happy doing that. Right, there we go. Lay down. Yeah, I'm not so sure about the green, but should we see how it dries? Because sometimes things dry quite differently, don't they? Dry quite differently to what you think. So, okay, we've got that there. Now, where's that lovely napkin? Here we go. I'm thinking I'm not going to see so much through here, but because this is a napkin, it might even be thinner than the tissue paper, mightn't it? All right, I'm just going to cut a bit off here. You might not see it slightly off camera, but I'm just cutting a strip, which roughly I think will cover that bit we've got left. Let's see how we get on. Yeah. All right. Get the rest of that sorted. Now, if one of these is particularly wonderful, then I can do another. I'm calling it, it's not really a masterboard, is it? But another base of vintage papers. Right, how are you going to come out, my friend? Am I going to see any? Oh, ripped it. Never mind. Actually, that looks quite nice. The rip. Oh my goodness! Isn't it amazing how happy accidents can happen? That looks quite nice because the page is coming through, but I don't think you can really see it otherwise. Again, though, we've got to let that dry, guys. We'll let it dry yet. I'll come right down with this one, I think. I do like it though, this pattern. Isn't it nice? It might be that we could decoupage a plain piece of tissue paper or something with it, because I do like that. I think that would make a very nice base for journal cards and tags, ephemera. Just be a nice page anyway, wouldn't it? Just a decorative page in your journal. Right. Well, that's my experiment, guys. I'm really tempted to rip into this a little bit more. No. Deliberately, because look, you can start to see it coming through. Wow. I like that. Yep, I am a bit crazy, by the way. I'm sure you're gathering that as you're watching. But crazy does what crazy does. Oh, that isn't bad at all. I think that's going to make a really nice journal card, actually. This bit. And I think that's quite Alice in Wonderland, you know, with these, or a Wonderland theme, as it were. Yeah, I like that. Now that green's really showing everything beneath it through, isn't it? Starting to dry now. I'm liking, I've got a bit of a bubble here. What do I do about that? Do I just let it dry, or do I just cut into that? I don't know if you could see it, but it was a bit dry, so I thought I'll just do my cutting in thing, won't I? Okay, experiment done, maybe. I've got this little bit here, haven't I? I've got a little bit extra of something. Where's that tissue that I had earlier? Had a piece earlier that I crunched up by mistake. Let's cut them. Let's cover it because we don't want to be wasting this beautiful book page here, do we? Oh, I don't. Just in case I need this bit, might want it. Let's get you down. Lovely. Two can join together, it's okay. That is perfectly all right. Now I definitely am going to need to leave this a while to dry. It's kind of wet. So let's leave that a few hours or so at least, and I'll be back. Hi everyone, it is 24 hours later. I'm just going to put these little bits away into my, what's this, bits and bobs folder. That's my scraps folder, which we'll use at some point. But just to let you know, I allowed it to dry. It sort of was curling up a little bit. It took about 3 hours or so, and then I just put this under heavy books for the evening. So overnight this went under heavy books, and it's the next day. It has flattened out quite nicely, slight little bit of a curve there, that's okay, and it is fairly thick now. Now, as you might have told, I had a slight go at the stenciling and it's just come out awful. It isn't come out the way I wanted it, so I'm not going to go with this. I think actually you do need to sponge your paint on, and I don't really have that at the moment, have those things, so I'm going to put that to one side. What I do have is a lot of stickers and a few little stamps that we could use. But let's have a look at this. I'm not happy with the green at all. I really don't like that. I've lost my little green dots. Some of you can see them a little bit. Not sure if you can. But you can, of course, see a lot of the book page coming through. I'm liking the hearts. You can see the book page coming through. So I'm quite liking that. And I'm loving the napkin that we had. But it is very, what am I saying, very busy. It's patterned all over. And so you can see a little bit of where the book thing's coming through. Not sure if you can see that. So my initial idea was to do a lot of stenciling and things on here and then cut it up. But I think I'm actually going to see if I can cut it up now into journal cards and tag sizes. I don't have any go-to sizes, so I'm going to eyeball it, put it into the paper cutter and cut it. Hope that works. And then I'm going to go in with these stickers. So I've got a lot of stickers. I don't have a lot of stamps, but I have a lot of stickers. I found these, which I think are quite nice. They've got that vintagey feel. And there's also, but they stand out as well on top of here, because if it was something too light, I've got these nice stickers, but do they get lost a bit? Actually, it looks okay, isn't it? Dragonfly. So I think these are quite good on the sort of Alice in Wonderland theme style. Loosely. What's that? Oh no, I don't want that one. And a rose and a timepiece. So I thought those for sure, and definitely the dragonfly we'll use, and then maybe some other stuff. I do have like butterfly stickers here. I think I went a bit crazy on buying stickers at one point, so you know, that looks nice, doesn't it? So I think instead of my initial plan of decorating it all and then just chopping it up and whatever came out, I think I'm actually going to make the cards, make the ephemera first and then decorate it. So let's see how that works. So There's some bits we can work with. Chop down further if we need to. Now, what I need is a tag to compare that to. Okay. So listen, guys, I've got these luggage tags that I purchased because I thought I would start decorating those at some point, which I will. So that might just give me a bit of an idea on the length. I mean, these are quite big tags actually, aren't they? I'm talking there. One. And we've got that little bit at the bottom there, haven't we, that we've got to discard anyway. Yeah, let's have a nice big tag and discard that bit. Oh, I'm going to keep that actually in my blue folder. Keep that for something else. Okay, so I've got two sort of taggy sizes with that lovely napkin there. Nice journal card size, I like that. Like that, like that. What am I going to do with these? Well, I'm going to do something. I mean, it could even be like a pocket or something there, couldn't it? Quite like the bits where it's half and half, actually. That's quite nice, isn't it? Right, I'll put that to one side, though, because I don't know what I'm going to do with that just yet, guys. That's okay. Oh, I'm loving this little teapot sticker. Let's get that on. Okay. That's nice, isn't it? Yeah, I like this one. I need to cover up this gone wrong flower, maybe. That's getting a bit lost on there. That's quite nice, bringing a bit of colour in. Still not certain. Butterfly, maybe. Let's have a look. Yeah, quite like that. That's nicer, isn't it? Do I need a butterfly with a bit more colour in so that it shows up a bit more? Yeah, that's quite nice. It's not really covering that pink. Is that okay not to cover that pink? Yeah, I think it isn't okay because I don't like it and I really want to cover it. I do not like that. I've got some bigger butterflies somewhere. Hold on. These stickers can be quite awkward sometimes, can't they? There we go. You can sometimes find the back with my paper piercer. That's got quite a few uses, that. Okay. Now let's get this covered, mainly covered. There we are. Oh, we're just sticking out a little bit there. That's probably going to get caught, isn't it, on when we're going in and out of things. So let's just trim that. There we are. There we are. We can make things work. So we've got a lovely teapot and our flower. Do we want a nice butterfly, maybe? That's actually got the same sort of colours, isn't it? At an angle or straight? Too sure. I think at an angle like that looks good, doesn't it? I do like stickers because they just are a little bit safer than me stamping. Well, I don't have a lot of stamps right now. I do intend to buy some, but every month I have a little budget to buy things, and when the turn comes around for some more stamps, I'll get some more stamps. Okay, I'm liking that. I can't see my corner cutter at the moment, so I'll get that. I'll go and get that when we've finished doing these. So quite like the butterflies, quite like the key, because that's very Alice in Wonderland, isn't it? How's that looking? These are looking nice. I'm starting to like this. What about these ones though? These are nice little envelopes, stickers, envelopes with things on. No. There's one with a butterfly. Let's have a look at you. No. think I like that, what we originally had down actually. That looks good. So it's kind of echoing, our tags, but that'd be all right because I'm going to use these in the same journal. And I'll be doing that. I'll be bringing you that next time, by the way. Okay, so I've got 3 cards here that I'm liking. These ones are a bit thinner than this one. I'm not sure why. Maybe this one has got more overlaps on the back. So I think I might have to put these onto something else, but it was a shame because I quite like seeing the Alice here. However, see, that one feels thick. It might just be that it needs another layer of glue. I might just Mod Podge this because that seems to give it some strength. So I might do that in a moment. However, with the tags, the bit that was the napkin, that really is very thin. So I've decided I'm actually going to put them onto these tag backgrounds that I have. That will make them robust and make them a proper tag. But I'm just wondering if I want to... I want to put a bit of washi tape down first, like a little border, and then that on. Oh, is this brown border good? Not sure. Let's have a look. I think I might just go with the brown border. It does show you it's a tag then, doesn't it? We'll do a little bit of inking. Do a little bit of inking just underneath where that's going to show through. So not just the sides, although I do like to ink the sides, but just down there, distress that a little. Right, let's offer this up and see how it's looking. Yeah, that's nice. There you go. That just gives it a nice vintage feel now, doesn't it? Quite like that. Now, do we have room for a little butterfly or something? Maybe. That might be quite nice after as well, wasn't it? A little sticker. No, we don't want it covering there. Right, I like that. I like that. And this makes it a bit more robust. Now, I think if initially I might have had a piece of card, I could have put those book pages onto something, couldn't I? So that's a lesson learned for next time. But, you know, it was an experiment. I'm happy with my experiment. There we go. Right, let's get these glued on. I think I like those as they are now, guys. I love those. And of course I might have lost the thing, but I've got the book page on the back, sorry. We've got some journaling cards there. Can write a little to-do list or anything there, couldn't I? I do love these. I especially love these. I think these have really come out nicely. Is that because they're on a border? Right, guys, I've had a bit of one of my brain waves. So I got out, this is a journal. Well, it's a scrapbook, but that I'm turning into a Victorian journal. I'm going to share that with you at some point. But I just put it on here thinking, because I do need to take some of these pages out because it's getting bulky already. And I thought, yeah, that looks nice. But however, I just thought, well, look, if you just inked around it, you could actually just stick that into your page as a decoration. So I might just do that. Don't know. I keep this one as a card because it's quite thick. So I keep that one as a journal card. And these two, I'm not going to finish it off just yet because I'm going to see what I do want to do with it next week when we do the Alice journal. So I'm going to leave those as they are for now, but they're ready for me to use, aren't they? I'll sneak a peek at my Victorian thing coming up. Okay, so guys, I hope you enjoyed it. I'm going to wrap it up here, get all my stickers away. It just shows you have an initial idea. If you're experimenting, you may not go down that road, and that's okay, because what's come out I'm liking. I am finding that I do really like this better, the napkin rather than the tissue paper. However, I suppose it depends on what's on the napkin, doesn't it? And I've learned a lesson that if it's too plain, it's not really doing anything. Well, not for me anyway. We're all different, aren't we? But I do love the cards I've got here. I do love the 2 tags I've made. And I very much look forward to putting these in the Alice journal. Okay, going to wrap it up there, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Do consider subscribing, and I'll see you next time.